Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a learning environment, right? Where the biggest challenge for a young mind isn't just, memorizing stuff from a textbook, but maybe designing a robotic arm or training an AI.
Exactly.
That's the kind of reality Edutech International STEM Lab for schools seems to be creating. And their insights into these STEM labs in Indian schools, well, they're really something. So our mission today is to dive deep into how these labs are doing more than just teaching science, how they're genuinely igniting like a passion for innovation, preparing students for, well, for what's already starting to happen.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how these labs move beyond just theory. They deliver these real, tangible learning experiences. The core purpose, like the source says, isn't just ticking curriculum boxes. It's really designed to inspire creativity, foster those problem-solving skills, and genuinely encourage actual innovation.
So less lecture hall, more innovation hub.
Precisely. Think it like that. The source actually mentioned one lab saw something like a 30% jump in students entering national science fairs in just 1 year.
Wow.
And they put that down to projects like that robotic arm idea you mentioned, turning physics theory into a hands-on engineering challenge.
That hands-on approach. It really does sound like a complete game changer, doesn't it? But what really sets these labs apart, according to the source, in terms of prepping students for what's next, it's clearly not just about good grades. It's about equipping them, right, for tomorrow's world.
Exactly right. And if you connect this to the bigger picture, you can see how it directly nurtures that passion for, scientific and technological exploration, setting them up to be those future leaders.
Surely leaders,
We
yeah.
definitely need those. And the Edutech source points specifically to including technologies like AI and robotics. That makes learning so relevant, so forward-looking.
Okay, but when we talk about AI and robotics for, say, middle or high school students, what does that actually look like in these labs? Is it super complex, building circuits from scratch? Because honestly, that still sounds pretty advanced for many people.
That's a fair question. And it kind of speaks to the brilliance of how these labs are set up. It's not about throwing them into university-level coding straight away.
Yeah.
With AI, for example, it often means using more intuitive visual programming tools.
Yeah.
So students learn to train a computer, maybe recognize patterns by feeding it examples, like sorting images of animals, perhaps.
Okay.
Or even designing a simple AI for, say, a model smart home.
Right, something relatable.
Exactly. And robotics, well, that means actually building and programming small devices. They might assemble kits, then write code to make a robot navigate a maze or pick things up. Like we said, solving a tangible problem.
Ah, so it's learning by doing, watching their code make something happen in the real world.
That's it. Learning by doing, seeing it come to life.
So it's really about demystifying these fields then, making them approachable, almost like a playground for future engineers and scientists?
Sort of, yeah.
What's most surprising to me, just reading through the insights from Edutech International STEM Lab for schools, is how it seems to bridge that gap, the gap between academic knowledge and, well, real-world application.
Yeah.
So seamlessly. It's not just memorizing the periodic table, right? It's understanding why that knowledge matters for building something new.
You've absolutely hit on a critical point there.
Yeah.
The source really emphasizes that it's less abstract learning and more challenge-based projects.
Yeah.
Students get a problem, maybe a hypothetical real-world scenario, and they have to use STEM principles, often using AI or robotics, to figure out a solution.
Okay.
And that whole process, experimenting, sometimes failing, refining, that's where the deep learning happens. It cultivates resilience, creative thinking, things traditional teaching sometimes struggles with. It's an environment where curiosity isn't just, encouraged. It's really the engine driving everything.
It sounds like they're building more than just tech-savvy kids. They're nurturing a generation of critical thinkers, problem solvers.
That's the aim.
So what does all this mean for you, the listener, trying to stay informed about where education is heading?
Well, these STEM labs really represent a significant shift, I'd say. They're fundamentally about cultivating those essential future-ready skills through immersive, hands-on experiences, really moving beyond just traditional learning. And maybe this raises an important question for you to think about. How might this model, integrating cutting-edge tech with practical, hands-on learning, how might it redefine education globally? Could it move us beyond conventional approaches to truly cultivate innovation, on a much larger scale?